Welcome, welcome, welcome to day one of stepping into the creative flow. I am super excited that you are here, that you're able to meet in person, online, get to see your beautiful faces. Oh, so great to connect with all of you. Um, my intention for today is to have fun. I really want to just come on here and have flow, get into that creative flow, have some fun with you and connect in community because I feel like it's so powerful for us to get to know each other, to make some art and to share it. And that's what's nurturing for our soul is to be able to share it with others. And I also want you to be able to achieve your desires through the flow state. And that's what we're going to be talking about here, because today we're talking about healing and how being in that flow state is going to be a powerful force for you to manifest your desires. Okay. So I know we got some people just still joining us in the next few minutes. If you'd like to just put in the chat where you're from. I see some familiar faces here. I want to say hello to you. For those of you who have been here before, welcome. And then for those of you who are new, who have never been a part of one of these experiences, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Leah Guzman, and I'm from Miami, Florida. I see you guys are from many different places. We have Serbia. Lakeisha's from Miami too. Awesome. Singapore, Canada, beautiful, all over the world. So I'm a professional artist and art therapist, and I love doing these creative soul retreats because I get to connect with you and I get to share what I do, and then knowing that it has a ripple effect because you will be able to use these tools and go out into the world and shine your light as well. All right. So if you could kindly, if you are able to, if you could turn on your camera, because I would love to see your beautiful face. Like I said, this is all about energy and connecting with you. This is why I like to do it in the Zooms, because I am broadcasting in the Facebook group, the Creative Soul Online Retreat Facebook group. For those who didn't receive the Zoom link, sometimes they don't always go through the emails. So I'm hoping that you did receive them. All right, so you're probably wondering, what do I need today? What do I need to have available? So I'll just let you know what I have. I have some paintbrushes. I did put together a little palette of paint. I have my oil pastels. You don't have to have this. You can have whatever, like say if you're at work and you just have like a pen and a sheet of paper, that's totally fine, okay? Use what you got, but I like to have my paints, my oil pastels, and I have an art journal because I like to keep all my art in one place. So I have my art journal out. So you can go ahead and grab your materials. Awesome. Awesome. We got someone from India, France, Iowa. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So just to let's getting ourselves situated and started. I do have replays. So if you are not available to come for the second day and the third day, the replays are going to be available on YouTube. So I highly suggest that you go ahead and subscribe because I do have some fun stuff on there. But what's important about this is day one, we're talking about healing. Day two, we're talking about abundance, manifesting abundance. We're going to talk about money and healing through that. And then day three is about taking action. So each one of the sections build upon themselves. So I really want you to get the full effect. We're not dabbling here. We are stepping into our power. We are stepping into that creative flow. So it's not just about learning one little experience. It's about creating a momentum, right? Creating that flow in your life. So I do highly recommend you're here. You are meant to be here. And oh, Lisa said, can I repeat the days? Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about healing. Tomorrow we're going to talk about manifesting abundance, and we'll talk about money as well in there. And then day three is about taking action. And I had asked in the Creative Soul on the retreat, what did you all want to learn about? And I had them separated in there, and actually people voted for, those were a tie, was stepping into the creative flow and then manifesting abundance. So it's like, you know what? These are actually very much related, because everything in life is a relationship with ourself, a relationship with our time, our energy, a relationship with others, a relationship with money. All of these are interconnected, right? So if we're imbalanced in one of them, it's going to show up in other areas of our life. So being in that flow state actually is all about manifesting. Okay. That's why it's really important. All right. So if you've been here before and you've actually tried some of these techniques, I just asked you to come with a beginner's mind and think about how are you using it in your life, right? And some of the group rules about being here is that this is a really safe community. I just want to let you know that the people who are in the Creative Soul on the Retreat group are just amazing souls, and so happy to be here. So we do support each other here. And so, part of the Facebook group, the reason I have that is so that we can share our art. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing with you a sticker at the end of this session where I'm going to ask you to post your art today. And we're going to be commenting and witnessing other people's work and just being a part of that. So just part of the group rules is that I don't ask you, please don't spam or promote yourself on there, because it's more of a sharing and learning. And I will post, usually at the beginning of the month, I'll post like a sticker that says, hey, if you have a free offering or if you have a paid offering, put it under the sticker, just so that it keeps everything like really nice and clean in there, and just keeping that vibe really high. All right. All right. I'm so excited you guys are here today. I am about ready to get started. You guys ready to get started? Yes. Yes, you're feeling it. Okay, you ready to get into that creative flow? All right. So I want to talk about energy just for a minute, because I really feel that the most powerful source of energy is that energy of love, but it's also about listening to your soul, and your human soul for it to be on fire is listening to your purpose. So when you are on purpose and you answer that call to say, I am ready to step into my vision, that's where that fire comes. Okay. And that's what being alive is about. Okay. And that's where that energy for that flow of being connected with that source, that's where it's coming from. Okay. So we need you to step into that power, right? As creatives, art is our superpower. Okay. And the world needs us. It's time for us to actually rise as a collective and use our art for our own healing, for the healing of others, and have that ripple effect around us. Okay. So this is really important work. So I take this as like a sacred space, a sacred time for us to connect with that part of ourselves. Okay. So before we get started, I just wanted to go over some of the prizes with you. Is it okay if I go over the prizes? Yeah, I just think it's fun to give away prizes, just because I like to pretend like I'm Oprah or something. I don't got cards to give away, but I do have like decks and books and like stuff like that. So I wanted to share with you some of the prizes that are fun. So I'm doing this bundle. The first day is a bundle. I'm going to be actually picking a name out of the box. I've been writing down a ton of names that's going to win today, but you're also going to win this tomorrow too, because it's one of the prizes for the first day. But for those of you who had shared the love, is the Art of Healing and Manifesting book. It's one of my newest books, and it's all about the chakras. It has healing exercises, it has manifesting exercises, and it's about creative exercises for living in abundance. And then it also comes with this deck, the Oracle deck, which has my art on one side and then messages from the universe on the other side. So it can be used on a daily basis. And last but not least, this is something fun. I have to stand up for this one, is that I made this chakra set. So there's these little chakra paintings. But what I did was, I'll show you. I made the paintings, I did them on recording, so I could show you how to make your own little set. Can you guys see it? So it lines up with your body. So it's part of a bundle. So these are actually unique symbols. What's cool about this is that whatever you want to manifest, you put your intention in there. So this is thriving community. This is about creative flow. So each one has a certain intention. So I have painting classes that go with it. So that's part of the bundle, which is really cool because it's something that's like $222. So I put it in the bundle. I think this week we're have it on sale for $111, but it's going to be for you to do your own set with your own intention. You infuse your energy into it. So I'm excited to give that away today. And I will be picking a name. Just pick one now. So this is the box, our self-care box that we did in the Creative Soul Society membership. And I have the names. Very fun. Let's see here. This one is stuck to me. Let's see. Who is it? Oh my goodness, how funny. This is Holly Zazo. I don't know if Holly is here or not. She is an art therapist and she lives in Key West, Florida. Beautiful. I'm so excited. Very cool. And I had actually reached out to her this past week because I had to refer her to someone. I had a referral for her. So that's so cool. So excited for her. Okay, so you have a chance to win the bundle too. You are going to create some art and post it in that sticker. I'll show you the sticker now and I'll show you, if you don't mind, I'll show you the other prizes too so you can get excited for day 2 and day 3. So I'm going to share my screen. Oh, hold on one second. Okay, now I can share my screen. Share screen. Okay. So here, oh, here we go. Here's the stickers I was talking about. So for today, you're going to see the sticker that I'll post in the Facebook group. That's where you're going to put your art under. And then tomorrow is, when you post, it'd be the Creative Soul Society membership, which is amazing too. I just want to tell you guys about that. And then the Thriving Creative course. So the membership, just to let you know, it has, let me make this a little bigger. We meet up twice a month. We are going to be creating the sacral chakra artwork on next Sunday, and we're going to be doing more art and money healing at the end of the month. We have artist interviews. We have an art exhibit coming up in January. So that membership will be, someone can win a full year for tomorrow. And then on the 3rd day is the Thriving Creative course. And that is just one little component of my manifesting program. And that's like worth like $1,500. I've never given away a prize that big, but I am so excited. So if you are wanting to like have a business and learn a framework and structure of how to make money and multiple income streams, that's something to stick around for. So fun, fun, fun. All right. I see something in the chat. Hold on one second. Oh, congratulations, Holly. Everyone's, I don't even know if she's here. She's here. Let us know, Holly. Awesome. Okay. And since I have the cards here, let me pull a card just for funsies. You guys okay if I pull a card? A collective card for everybody? Oh, look what's up front. Choose joy. So happiness is an inside job. I'm not picking that card, but I think that's kind of cool that it showed up today because we are choosing joy. Okay, choose something that lights you up today. We are doing that by creating this artwork. All right. So what did we get? Ooh, this is the third eye chakra card, which is very cool because we're actually going to be doing a visualization today. Activating our third eye and imagination. It says, avidly head into the direction of your dreams. Every day you have a choice to take a step towards the manifestation of your desires. Step into who you want to be and how you want to experience the world. Take time to connect with source in order to receive a message for the next best step. I love this because I mean, I love it because you don't know what we're about to ready to do, but it totally aligns. You will find out in just a moment. Okay, but that's really cool. All right. Yay. All right. So I want to hear from you just for a moment. I want to know kind of like, why did you join today? And what do you think being in the creative flow would be for you? Like, what do you feel like is going to happen? How will it impact you, right? Being in the creative flow. So if you want to put that in the chat, just so you can think about it, like, why did I show up today? What about this creative flow? Like, why am I here? Can I take a picture of the card? Most definitely. I'll post it in the group afterwards. Lori just wants to create more often. Okay, cool. I'm hearing you. Oh, Holly is here. Okay. Appy wants to do more paintings. Okay, cool. Creative inspiration. I thought the 3 days would be a good day to start, most definitely. Being part of a group for accountability to actually do the work. Yes, that's so important, accountability. I'm an art therapist, always looking for new directives, inspiration to use both with clients and myself. Okay, beautiful. Being in the creative flow helps me re-energize, wanted some time to be intentional to create along with a bigger group, inspiration and learning. Ah, yes. Okay, emotional connection, movement of stagnant energy. Yes, we will be doing that today. Ooh, we got lots of comments. Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to tell you a little story about, because I'm glad you are getting clear about like why you're here, right? But I want to tell you a little story of like my little backstory of what happens when you're not in the creative flow. Because there's an opposite, like, yeah, we're like, yeah, we want to be in the creative flow. But I kind of want to let you know a little bit about my story, because when I was able to not be in my creative flow and then getting into my creative flow, it was like a huge transformation, like a huge shift for me. And I want to give you that story so that you can kind of see where I'm coming from and why I'm so passionate about this. It was when, well, I've been an artist all my life, and most of my life I was just creating art for myself. I had a turbulent time in high school, and that's when I kind of found out about art therapy and things like that, and became an art therapist because I knew that art was very healing for me. But then when I started practicing art therapy, I kind of stopped making art. And it's like, that's pretty terrible, right? And so it's like, you got to practice what you preach. But the thing was, my kids were little, like my daughter was like 1, my son was like 3. And it was a time when I was experiencing a lot of anxiety. I was having bouts of depression. I was just totally burned out. And everything was good around me, meaning that we had a nice home, I had our therapy work, everyone was healthy, like nothing really to complain about, but I was just in a hole. So I just remember we lived in this really tiny house at the time. And it's like if you turned, I would wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and just crying. And I remember I couldn't go in the living room because I turned on the light in the living room, then like the whole house would like be lit up. So I would go into the bathroom and I would just sit on the floor and be writing in my journal at nighttime. And I was like, what is going on? Why am I feeling this way? And I was just so confused. And I just knew that I was at a point where all I wanted was to be happy. Like I was like, if I could just be happy, if I could just maybe just create art or, just feel good about myself, then it wouldn't feel this way. Right. So I didn't know what to do. And I was the type of person who, I didn't like to seek help from other people. Like I was very independent. If I could figure it out on my own, that type of thing. So, and again, I was just dabbling in my art. I wasn't really like going all in. So that's why I'm asking you all to like, I want you to go all in, right? And I was really unaware of my own habits, of what I was doing that was blocking me from actually showing up for myself, of actually making the art and making that commitment to be in my creative flow. So what happened, it was kind of like a wake-up call that I needed to get help. And I even felt guilty for getting help. Like I was just like, I felt guilty for spending money on getting help. So I ended up actually going to see an art therapist. His name was Joshua. And it was, I would say it was my dark night of the soul, because I remember like seeing other colleagues and they would always ask me like, what is wrong with you? Because I would wear it on my face. Like I was not the type of person that, can like hold it in. It was just like, I was just in a dark phase. And so it was a part of me where I didn't realize what I was doing. And so some of those bad habits that I had were, I was a people pleaser. I was saying yes to everyone except for myself. I would look outside for validation, saying yes to everybody, and like again, not doing what I needed to do on the front burner. And I didn't really know my self-worth. Okay, I think that was a big one. So if I didn't answer this call to take care of myself and actually like learn some self-care practices, I would be an unhappy mom, which is not cool, unhappy wife. I wouldn't have anything to offer my clients, and I'd be just continuing being in a bad place, right? So like I had to fill my cup in some way. So I went to this art therapist and I started this journey, that's self-development journey of finding out what I needed to do. And one of the questions, um, that came up was, what does your soul want? I thought that was a curious question for him to ask me. And it's like, I don't know, what does my soul want? Right. I was like, well, I would just be happy if I just made art. If I just made art and maybe do some yoga. Yeah, yoga and art, that'll save me. I feel like that'll help. So it was interesting. I ended up doing some art. And what I remember about this piece is that I actually drew a house. And I was like, I actually want a new house. And I remember drawing an extra room in this house, and it said studio real big. And this art had a message, and the message was I needed to create space for doing my art, right? I needed to actually step into my creative flow. So within 6 months, I manifested that house that had that studio and a pool and the big backyard, everything that was in that house that I drew. And I was like, wow, this is really powerful. It's like how powerful that, when I showed up to do the work on the inside, it started showing up on the outside, right? So I ended up like creating this framework of how I could show up consistently. And I think that's the key here, right? It's showing up consistently. It's not about just showing up today and like, I'm going to learn this new art technique. No, it's about making a commitment. And if you've lost your creative flow, it's about recommitting, right? It's about recommitting to being able to do this on a daily basis. I remember going to a yoga class and ladies like, if you just show up like once every 2 weeks, it doesn't really do anything for you. Like you have to do it every day. And this is the same thing. It's like, you really do. You really have to show up. Even if it's 15 minutes, show up every day. So the reason that I'm telling you this is that when you can create a structure in your life, when you create the framework so that you show up consistently, things shift. Oh my goodness. Wow. From that experience, I realized that I wanted to show up in a bigger way, that I really wanted to show my artwork to the world. And I didn't do that before. I realized that I wanted to have a business and make money. And then I had to learn all about my money healing because I had a money monster, which I'm going to go into tomorrow. But the results that came from that is that I wrote my first book, actually in therapy sessions with my art therapist. Rad is Mad came out, which is the first art therapy book I wrote. And it's about Rad, who's me. I'm Rad, but I was sad and mad. Okay. So that was the first book that came out. And then from that, when I started showing up more online, I got a book deal. A publisher reached out to me, and that was like my second book that came out, which is Essential Art Therapy Exercises, right? So after 3 books, now I have this other book, The Art of Healing and Manifesting, and I've sold over 30,000 books. I'm like, wow, I'm making an impact. Like people are being, there's like a ripple effect happening, right? That's what's cool, is that when I started healing myself and being in the creative flow, when I put it on the front burner, it was that ripple effect that I could like, use my art as a way to heal others and support people in their needs. Okay. And I knew that you could do this too. That's why I'm telling you this story, because this is really about the soul work. This is about really getting in touch with that energy. Okay. And the biggest transformation, yes, it had a ripple effect outside of me because it does create money and it does create like multiple income streams and things like that. But the inside work was the biggest thing, is that I sleep really well at night. Like I feel satisfied. I'm actually really, really happy. And just, I know my worth and I know my soul's calling. Okay. So this is what lights me up. And I want you to feel the same way. Okay, because you might start with this one step today, which we're going to go into, but it could lead to a big ripple effect. Okay, so this action is going to set your soul on fire. Let me just double check the comments here. Oh, Lisa says, all about habits, create new ones that you enjoy, create a daily art ritual. Yes. I would love to know what your art ritual is. Mine has been journaling lately. Lisa says, I'm living this right now. It is so amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. Yes, yes. It's interesting because, the wounds is where is where your gifts are, where you can help other people. Actually, a lot of my art therapy clients are other art therapists because they've been burned out and they're like, I need support. And I'm like, yes, I'm here for you because I've been there. I know what it's like. Can you please provide some ideas for setting up structure, maintaining consistency? Yes, I actually do that in my program. That's why I created it, to create the frameworks to do that. But I'm going to do an exercise today that I think will be a good stepping stone for you. Okay, so the flow state is incredibly important, and we're going to go into the visualization in just a couple of minutes, but it was actually termed by the psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. So I know it's like a really big word, but it was like back in the 60s. And the science of it is that when you are in the flow state, there's actually chemicals being released, dopamine's released, that you actually feel that level of satisfaction, right? And that can be addicting. So it's like it's a win-win because it's a good addiction, I think. And it actually reduces your cortisol levels, which is that stress hormone. So that's another reason why you should do it too. Camille says, I'm feeling this now too. I have 3 kids trying to find mom time for my art, but needs to visualize money and abundance. Okay. Yes, they go together. I promise you. Okay. So are you ready to listen to your own soul? Because that's what's going to get you into that fiery state. Okay. Not just me teaching you a technique. It's more about you doing it for your soul's desire. Okay. So are you guys ready? Yeah. Okay. Yay. Beautiful. Okay. So we're going to do a little visualization of your future self. Ooh. You want to meet your future self? That's what we're about ready to do. So if you want to go ahead and get into a comfortable position, like seated, have your feet on the floor, that'd be really good. And what we're going to do is we're going to close your eyes. You feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, you don't have to, but you close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath. Roll your shoulders back. Okay, so we're going to be opening up our third eye chakra, and that is right here on your forehead. What you do is you place your hands on your forehead and you can just like open up your third eye. So just kind of like massaging it open. Your third eye is all about your imagination and your visioning. So important. Beautiful. Okay, so now you're going to go to your top of your head and we're going to open up that crown chakra. So just pull open like a portal on the top of your head, your crown, opening that. Beautiful. And now you're going to place your hands on your heart. Okay. So I want you to take a moment and envision a big ball of white light right on top of your head. And that white light is showering you with love. It's coming down, it's source energy, your God energy, and it's coming down. It's going right through your head space, through the throat eye, your throat chakra. It's lighting you up. Just imagine this white light is streaming through your body, is going down your arms, lighting up your torso, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra. It's lighting up your legs. You're being all lit up by this white light. It's going through your legs, grounding you to the ground, going down beneath the cement underneath you, down to the earth. You are being connected. So now you can take your hands and you can place them on your lap with palms up so you're open to receive. And you're going to go on a journey. Before you lies a yellow brick road. So go ahead and imagine that yellow brick road. And you start to walk on this yellow brick road. You're walking down it and you're walking down it. And all of a sudden you see this space in front of you. There's this structure and it has a door. It's your future home. It's like 10 years from now. And inside this space is where you create that magic. So this would be like your ideal studio space. So it could be inside your home. It could be in an artist community, just a space where it's just for you. And it's very sacred. And you walk into this space and you see yourself. You are there creating, you're in your flow, and you are so happy. You notice what you're wearing, your favorite colors, your favorite clothes. You look at what are you creating? Are you working on an art series? Are you writing your book? Are you prepping for a workshop? Or maybe you're even giving a workshop. Maybe you're just working with clients. And your future self looks up and sees you and is so happy to see you. Your future self is delighted. Your future self has a message for you. It wants you to know that all your desires are fulfilled, everything that you want. Everything you want to experience happens for you. So what you are seeking is seeking you. And then your future self gives you a gift. So imagine what that gift is. The gift is to support you on your journey. You think your future self, and you head back to that yellow brick road. So I want you to gently open your eyes. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing out ourself in the creative flow. Okay. So what is your vision for yourself? Because this is going to be the fire that keeps you going. What are you being called to do? Okay, so go ahead and grab your art materials. I'm gonna create with you. So I'm gonna grab my own journal here. Get a brand new page. And we are going to be creating, and it doesn't have to be a pretty picture. I just want you to know that, but we are going to be tapping into that flow state. Okay. So if you want to start with a sketch, I'm going to grab a pencil. I'm going to start with my oil crayons. I think it's good to put yourself in there. What do you vision for yourself? What do you see for yourself? You want love, you want abundance, partner, better health, more abundance, more money. You can draw that on there too. Just listen to your soul. So part of listening to my soul is showing up here. So just to let you know, like this is me, and this is me like 10 years from now, because this lights me up. So just thinking about like stepping into it right now, this vision of what you and where you want to go. And it can change. I mean, it can grow. New opportunities arise. So I'm going to be starting with a sketch, and then I'm going to write my intention as well in here. So it's good to put some writing of where do you want to go and what do you want to create, because it's like you're stating it to the universe, you're claiming it, right? And acting as if it's like presently here. All of this is energy as well. So I just put down my sketch and I wrote down some intentions of where I'd like to continue growing, like my thriving community and supporting other creatives and standing in their light, travel, things like that, right? So as I'm putting it in there, I'm also thinking about what colors goes with that energy, right? What color for me is flow. And I love orange. And actually that goes with the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is all about the water element, which is flow. It also is the color orange. And the color orange for the sacral chakras, that's the frequency of it. And it relates to the feeling of joy. The opposite of joy is guilt. So if it's imbalanced, you're going to feel guilt. So I'm definitely going to be putting some orange, fiery energy into this, but it could be different for you. You know, just be honest with yourself. What colors for you, you know, work. So I personally like using acrylic paints, because then I can just kind of go over my drawing, that I put my intentions down, and now I'm going to play. I'm just going to get into my own creative flow and just dance on my canvas. So I invite you to do the same. And a part of this process is definitely checking in with your feelings. I do this on a daily basis of using my art to check in with myself. And have fun. You'd like to put, I know you guys are all muted, but if you want to put music on, if you want to light a candle, whatever kind of ritual that you like to enhance your experience, do that. And another part of this process, which is really, really powerful, is, you know, checking in with your soul on a regular basis, because it's not about just making a vision board, you know, once a year to say, hey, what do I want to bring in? It's, you know, on a consistent basis of what does my soul want to, you know, desire, but also it'll give you the messages of how to take that next step. And that can come through people. Those messages can come through your artwork. Messages could come from your journal writing. Those are the kind of structures that you set in place to have that connection. So what we're going to do, which is going to be the fun part, this is how we get to connect in community, since there's like 60 of us on here. I'm going to put you in a breakout room, just with another person. And what it is just not that you have to share your art with them, but because we're still working, right? But what you'll have the opportunity to do is to just let the other person know what you're working towards, right? And what that flow looks like in your life, and what your soul desires, what would you like to see happen? Okay, so you're just sharing it with one person. Okay, so they'll share it with you, and then you'll share with them. And I guess we'll do like maybe like 4 minutes each, and you can continue working on your art as you are sharing. Okay, so this is that opportunity to connect in community and talk to someone. And if for some reason your person is not there, you're always welcome to come back to the main room. I'll be here. Oh, Afi can't talk. That's no problem. I won't put you in a breakout room. Thank you for letting me know, Afi. Anyone else? Marcy. Okay. So Marcy and Afi. Lauren. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of you that can't talk. Jeez. Okay. All right. There's a lot of you. Okay, never mind. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just switch it up today. So I won't have you go in breakout rooms. Usually that's when, like when I do the reviews, everyone's like, I love the breakout room. I love connecting with that person. But Afi says she's in a crowded coffee shop. I totally understand. Okay. So that's okay. We'll just change things up. We'll work for on our own for a few minutes. Or maybe we'll just call some people up who would like to share in a few minutes. And we'll just do like a group share. I think the main thing that I really want you guys to realize is that, because we're focusing on healing today, is that from my experience, when I look back, the healing took place from me taking action. And if I didn't take action, I would have been stuck in the same place, right? And that would have been terrible because I would have just continued the downward spiral. So by showing up, by making that commitment, whether you need support or not, going is going to make the healing happen. Oh, Fatima says, make the rooms, and who can't talk, at least they can listen. Okay, I guess so. I'll take your suggestion. We're co-creating together, just to let you guys know. All right. Breakout rooms, let's see. Oh, 3 to 4 people in each. Oh, that's good. Okay. Let's see how I do that. Okay, yeah, that works. I'll make 14 breakout rooms, 3 to 4 participants, and we'll do like 2 minutes each. 2, 4, 6, 8. So that would be 8 minutes. Just check your time and that'll work. Okay, here we go. Just join your breakout room. And then at the end, we're all going to join back here because we'll do a wrap up. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and join. The team is like, great. Beautiful. All right, I guess I'm here by myself. If anybody jumps back on, just let me know. If anyone else is here and I don't see you. Okay, I'm gonna keep painting. hi, Amy. Did you get to talk to someone?
No one in my room could talk and they didn't respond. So I just came back here and I'll just
Okay, cool. Well,
working
let
on.
me know. What are you working on?
I actually did a little print of, well, you can't see it very well. I've been making little prints, and so I just made a print of me on this foam stuff,
Cool.
and just, yeah, wanting to have a space where I can just have fun and feel joy. So I'm struggling with some things, which I'll talk to you about in our individual session more.
So you're
Yeah,
gonna work on some healing. Are you consistently showing up for your art?
yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
I think the hardest part for me and what you talked about, I don't know if others relate to this, is like when you said you created the book and then you sold a lot of copies, like what about when you create things and they don't tend to go over well or be received or sell? Sometimes that's hard to know what to do. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, definitely. I've experienced that. I mean, I think that I mean, I've had so many experiences where that's like that fear of failure, so then I don't show up. But then it's also, well, what if I think that it's failure and it's not really? Usually it's a stepping stone for me. For like, I was talking about this yesterday. I had like I was so excited. I had my first solo show. This was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. And I was just so excited about being there. And my friends, my family came. It was amazing. And I didn't sell anything. Like I just thought, like, the next day, I felt like the biggest loser. I was like, I have a solo show and no one even bought anything. So like, why did I do this? And it took me some time, because that was my ego. It took me some time to say, what? I was like, you know what? You showed up. Being with your friends and family is priceless. And the fact that, you followed through, that's all that matters. And is that, like, my soul wanted to experience that. And it wasn't about the money. It really wasn't. And it was just like, even this book, like, I did like a co-publishing with this book. And so I had to pay like $1,000, I think. I think that's how much it was, where they helped me get, put it together, because I didn't know what I was doing. So when I did that, I was like, I need to make my money back. And I went out to, this is a little kid book. I went out into the PTAs and I did a fundraising. So um they basically, I was able to sell it through that way, and I made my money back. So it was more of like, when I look back, I only made this to heal myself. And I can look back and say, you know what, that's what my soul needs to experience. So sometimes you have to look at it in a different perspective, that maybe it was just for the healing.
yes.
Someone needs my help in room 5. Oh,
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. Does that help you, Amy? Yes. Okay, cool. I guess I'll give them like another minute and then I'll call everyone back. So I see, Laura, did you want to share yours with me?
Hi. No, what are we sharing? Nobody showed up in the room I was in, so I just came back.
Cool.
So do you want me to
glad you're
show my
back.
art? You want to
Well,
see
just
what I?
you could, if it's not done, you don't have to share it just yet. But if
No,
you'd
I
like to,
don't care. I'm
oh,
vulnerable.
wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So can you tell me about it?
Yeah. So I'm almost always end up painting or drawing something that is in the nighttime. So
Mm.
I like that very fertile night and the darkness, the underground, and all of that. So there's a little sliver of moon, but I made it orange. And before you were talking about orange being sacral and about joy. So that's very much a part of who I am as well. And I have a little placed over here. It's not little, maybe it's big, I don't know, but it's a studio. It's my studio. And it has some great windows, and it's on a little hilltop, and there's water all around it, and there's money, 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 and people, 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 people. And yeah, I mean, and over here, and I'm trying to connect it, and eventually we'll make it look more connected when I'm done.
Uh-huh.
but this is myself because I know that I need to pay attention more to my heart. And so I'm kind of carrying my heart around in my hand because I've always kind of lived that way. And that's okay. I like to be open to people. That's part of who I am. But I need to make sure that I am staying committed first and foremost to my own self. So that's kind of what that's about.
Beautiful. I love that powerful message of that came through. It was like committing to your own self, committing to your energy and stepping up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. And sorry that I think I accidentally registered again today, so my bad.
Oh, no,
Guess
no
I just
bad.
needed to make sure.
It's all good. You're here. That's what matters. I'm happy
Right.
you're here.
Thank you.
Awesome. And Karen Dawn, I see you here too. How are you?
Hi, doing well. How are you?
Good, good. You want to share yours real quick?
Yeah, it's mainly a drawing. I just started coloring it in. I better just explain it more than
Okay.
well, I have a river, like water flowing, but also on the side of it is like a walking path, because just being in nature and walking helps to just inspires me to think of more creative things, and gets me in the flow. And I'm doing some yoga on this dirt path too, which I wouldn't normally do, but hey, that's just a picture, right?
Yeah.
And then I have both I have like a sun, which I labeled my sacred start, because every morning I have a routine that really helps me feel better about myself. And if I don't do it, I feel like I've missed something.
Mhm.
So I have the elements of that, which is just written journaling and drinking water and tea and doing breath work. Stretching is also a part of that. And then I have something, an area with like these crystals, and I call it more of like my structure, where I plan out my day, and the time that and really write just different goals for my week. So these are just things that support my creative flow, that when I do these things, it enables me to actually put the time in to do creative work.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Awesome. I'm going to make sure I'm going to close out the rooms to see if anyone hasn't come back yet. All right. Let's see. All right. So as people are coming back, joining us back here, hope everyone had an opportunity to share. If you didn't, I'd love to hear from you, or if there's someone here that would like to share with the group, you want to raise your hand, unmute yourself. I'd love to hear from you. Did you have any ahas in the group? Did you connect with someone that had the same desire as you, soul desire? No one else wants to share? Shocked. Usually we have a lot of people that want to share. Amy, all right.
I'll share
Brave
just
soul
because.
you are.
Oh, thank you. I love that you're doing this. I actually keep several journals, so I was being led to finish what I was doing as opposed to focusing on what my soul is craving. And I started this last night, and it says, you are enough. Passion over perfection, positive mind, positive vibes, positive life. And it was through a Zoom call that I was holding with Create Room. They make this dream box behind me right here.
Oh, cool.
And it was so beautiful because in the same way of connecting with community in that spirit, people are doing such amazing things, but we're often getting in our own way. We're often blocking ourselves. And it was beautiful. I shared in the room a story of when I moved to LA, I was really sort of excited about this new possibility. I had moved here with a job. They relocated me and everything. And a week later, they let me go. So here I am in LA, 24 years old, had just made this huge move across country from Atlanta. My furniture and all my belongings were somewhere in probably Mississippi.
Mhm.
And I called my dad, of course, crying. And he said, you're lost in the right place.
Mhm.
And I love that feeling of knowing that you are where you need to be, even though you feel lost,
Mhm.
but you are supported. And I love what you said about how the gift of supporting you on your journey
Mhm.
is such a beautiful gift because you feel held, even though you're at a crossroads.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that, Amy. It's so true. It's in those uncomfortable times, there's a gift there too. And sometimes we resist it. We're like, I don't want to feel that resistance. I don't want to feel lost. I don't want to feel confusion. But that it's important. It's important to feel that because that's our internal compass of saying, okay, but what direction do I need to go? Where do I need to shift? Right. And then in community too, I think that's important that you reach that, is that to be around people that support you in your vision and support you to surround yourself with those people that are going to lift you up and say and cheer you on.
Yeah, and to really feel held by the fact that, look, nobody's life is perfect, even though we might be in a very wonderful, positive, optimistic space, both inside and outside.
Mhm.
We're always sort of shifting and in transition, and there's always these desires that come from within, right? And that's when it's really a heart-centered shift that you need to be pursuing, but sometimes you need a little bit more clarity on it. And look, that time is such a gift. My husband was recently laid off 2 days ago.
Oh my gosh.
He was a part of the big layoff.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've heard in the news, but and it's such a crazy time.
Mhm.
But I feel like, thank goodness he's done so much inner work, or
Mhm.
else we would be sort of in this chaos and muck, as opposed to feeling grounded inside enough to let the stuff go swirling,
Right.
but not be afraid of this big life change and this big upheaval,
Yeah.
but really look at it as an opportunity to pause, reflect, redirect,
Yeah.
and being lost in the right place. I love it.
I love that. That's such a good mantra.
My dad was so wise, and he passed in September. So it was such a
Oh,
gift to be able to share those words of wisdom again to somebody who, did not hear that before.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. Oh, that's so important. And you always are supported, right? It's always your perspective about it. And you also talked about, like you said, mentioning like going to your soul, because when you go to your soul, it's not your ego. And when you can create from your soul place, that's the fuel that's going to keep you going. Your ego is the trickster. That ego is going to tell you it's not good enough. The ego is going to tell you, well, how are you going to make money off of that? Like the ego is coming from that place. And when you're coming from that place, you need to shift that perspective. Be like, let's get back to the soul, because the soul just wants you to feel satisfied and wants to experience life.
Absolutely. And the fullness of life, right? Because if you don't have that contrast of the darkness and the light, it makes you in a different space. It's not real. It's not reality.
Mhm.
The truth is, we need that perspective, and we need to shift towards the light, but we also need to be comfortable in that space of darkness, because sometimes that brings up even more truth so that we can then level up.
Beautiful. Such wise words, Amy.
Thank you. Thank you for letting it pour out of me. I don't know. It just, it comes from the soul. And I love that you said that about the ego, because especially, women, we are so strong, but we doubt ourselves because we're like, oh, are we thinking that we need this money or this job or whatever it is for status? And I'm a recovering workaholic, so I really feel for people who feel as though their value comes from their work. I mean, my worth is tied so directly from what I accomplish from a deep, deep ancestral level, that working through that healing has been so good for me, so good for my kids, so good for my husband, who is in this space of not feeling like, oh my gosh, my ego needs to take over and I'm the man and I need to also contribute. And you don't need to work from that place of stress and anxiety. You can work from a place of healing and hope instead. And so much more beauty comes from it, and it's okay to take this like reflective pause.
Yes.
But yeah, so thank you for letting me share that. That was a lot of life spilling out onto you.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Amy. Awesome. Would anyone else be inspired to share? I know I usually admire is here. I usually go an hour, but you know what? We're in the creative flow and we want to share. We're here to support you. I support you. We're all here to support you. All right, Admari, I see you. You had your hand raised. You looking for the unmute button?
Yeah, there we go. Hi. I think in our breakout room, it helped a lot with like everyone just kind of connected of wanting to be present again and just to show up for the work. And it was very, that aha moment for me of like everyone's feeling the same thing I'm feeling. Even it might be in a different situation, but it's like everyone wants that end goal of being there, being present. And for me, it helps me like get out of my own headspace. And I know someone had mentioned that in our breakout chat, but I also have this weird, almost like a opposite effect when I'm working. It helps me rethink things in my head too at the same time. So it has like my inner workings of like, oh yeah, I really like that color. There's a reason why I really like that color. I really like this. I really like that. And it helps me explore my ideas because my personal soul like want is not just consistency, but it also wants adventure again. And I love the work that I do, but I also want to make myself even happier.
Yeah. Take yourself to the next level. Yeah, I love that. And then to infuse that adventure in there, thinking of how can I do that and what inspires you, what's going to light you up.
Definitely. And honestly, I remember just like following you on like on social media, and I'm here like, oh, that sounds so cool. Like, I want to be in this. And then it's honestly so much more than I expected in the best way. I'm like really happy in this workshop.
So happy you're here. It's fun stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone for having us too. So seriously, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's so nourishing to be heard and to be supported. That's why I love the breakout rooms, but then everyone was like, I don't want to do it. So or they weren't able to do it. So I'm glad I did have you, be able to connect with others because you're not the only one experiencing what you're experiencing. And, the universe attracts, so we're here together to work through this stuff. And we only do it by talking and, acknowledging where you're at. And I love that you said being present. So whatever that feeling is, if it's an uncomfortable feeling, that's okay. Like, it's like we have to learn how to be uncomfortable. We're so, wanting that quick fix. And it's not about like a one-time thing. That's why I'm saying like the creative flow, I wanted to connect with your soul because it's not about just like one little art technique that I'm going to teach you. It's a consistent practice and it's about being present and showing up and putting it on the front burner. So I'm excited, Admari, to see what your adventure is, and maybe that'll show up in your art. So I'm asking you guys not to stop creating right now. I do, keep on going for today and complete your images. It's really important to finish it because we are going to dive into that abundance part tomorrow. I do want to show you this sticker again, because I'm going to be giving the bundle again. Oh yeah, giving that away tomorrow as well. So let me show you the sticker. Make sure I didn't miss any comments. I know there were some really good sayings in here. I'm gonna have to go back and listen because you guys had some like wise words of wisdom. Okay, let me look for the sticker before I get a little distracted. Here we go. And share screen. Okay. So I ask if you could put under day one, when you see the sticker in the Facebook group, again, I know I have a prize in here, but that's really, the real reward is connecting with each other. Honestly, that's what's nourishing to the soul. So once you're done, take your time today, finish your artwork, but tonight, later on, go ahead and post your picture of your art under this in the thread in the Facebook group, and then write it what your vision is. Like, what are you stepping into? Because we're here to support you. Remember, each day we're going to be building on this. And this is where we get to share ideas and all that kind of good stuff. So I showed you the sticker. Is there any other questions, or let me stop share really quick, that have come up? I'm going to the comments, reflective pause. Okay, do we have to post what we have done? No, you don't have to post what you've done. But for me, I feel like my intention, actually, I mentioned that at the beginning, is to connect in community. And I know the power of community, and the power when we talk about healing, it can happen in community. It happens through sharing, especially like even with my own art therapy practice. And the reason like I highly recommend art therapy, or even like for myself or for someone else, is that, you know, you can make art on your own, which is great. But when you can share your story, when you can feel heard, feel understood, or even getting a different perspective on what you've created, that's where this like enlightening happens. Like, for example, that story that I shared with you at the beginning, when I went and got help, I didn't realize I was a people pleaser. I didn't realize I didn't have boundaries, that I was saying yes to I didn't realize my patterns of behavior, right? And so that's why it's good to share, because someone else might be saying, or might pick it up for you, like, hey, what are you doing? Or like, how come that hasn't, you know, you said you're going to do this and you haven't. That's that accountability, right? So sometimes that's where that magic can happen. So I feel like it is important, and it is healing to share. Fatima says, I would like to connect more with the women that I shared the room with, but I can't find them here. Okay, we have the Creative Soul Online Retreat group. That's a totally free group. There's a few thousand people in there, but we also have the Creative Soul Society membership group. I don't know who the ladies were in that group, but that's just where when we share more like this, like when we get to see each other's faces. I don't know if you have their names, Fatima, and I can let you know. All right, if there's any other questions that come up, if I missed anything, you're always welcome to message me on Facebook, send me an email. It's going to be the same Zoom link for tomorrow. We're going to be meeting at 12 p.m. If you can't make it, you're also welcome to go to the YouTube channel and check it out there. But I would love, love, love to see what you are working on. Okay. Sending you so much love, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Oh, is it 1:11 now? Thank you, Lori, for seeing that.
And it's 11:11.
That's beautiful. Magic. This is magical. Okay. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.